शून्यवादी पाश्चात्यदेशतारिणे नामश्रेष्ठं मनुमपि सचीपुत्रमत्र स्वरूपं रूपं तस्याग्रजमुरुपुरीं माथुरीं घोष्टवातीं राधाकुण्डं गिरिवरमहो राधिका माधवासां प्राप्तो यस्य प्रतितकृपया श्रीगुरुं तं नतोऽस्मि। कृष्णादन्यमजानत क्षणमपि स्वप्नेऽपि विश्वेश्वरे तस्मिन् भक्तिमहैतुकीं विदधतो हृद्वाय वाग्भिः सदा श्रीलान् सद्गुणपुञ्जकेलिनिलयान् प्रेमावतारानहं वन्दे भागवतानि माननुलवम् मूर्ध्नानिपत्यक्षितौ आजानुलम्बितभुजौ कनकावधातौ संकीर्तनैकपितरौ कमलायताक्षौ विश्वम्भरौ द्विजभरौ युगधर्मपालौ वन्दे जगत्प्रियकरौ करुणावतारौ जयतां सुरतौ पंगोर् मम मंदमतेर्गति मत्सर्वस्वपदाम्भोजौ राधा मदन मोहनौ नीलाचलनिवासाय नित्याय परमात्मने बलभद्रसुभद्राभ्यां जगन्नाथाय ते नमः। ओम अज्ञानतिमिरान्धस्य ज्ञानाञ्जनशलाकया चक्षुरोन्मीलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः। श्रीचैतन्यमनोभीष्टं स्थापितं येन भूतले स्वयं रूप कदा मह्यं ददाति स्वपदान्तिकम्। वाञ्छाकल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपा सिन्धुभ्य एव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः। श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभो नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासदि गौर भक्त वृंदा हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे। मूकं करोति वाचालं पंगुं लंघयते गिरिं यत्कृपातमहं वन्दे श्रीगुरु दीनतारिणाम्। हरे कृष्णा। So let us resume from where we stopped yesterday. So the context is we are almost coming to the end of Samudra Manthan pastime. How the Samudra Manthan pastime took place. The demigods were defeated by the demons because of the curse of Durvasa Muni, and later on, upon the instruction of the Supreme Lord, when they approached the Supreme Lord headed by Lord Shiva and Brahma, the Supreme Lord advises the demigods to enter into a truce with the demons, to churn the milk ocean and to get the nectar. And we have seen how Mohini incarnation, how the Mohini Murti, the form of the Supreme Lord, bewildered the demons and then did not give them even one drop of nectar, and all the nectar was distributed by Mohini Murti to the demigods. And after that we have seen how again a battle ensues, and finally how Narada Muni instructs the demigods not to continue the fight, and the demigods are very obedient to Narada Muni. And similarly, Bali Maharaj and others who are actually injured in that battle, they are all revived again by Shukracharya. And now here we have seen in this chapter Lord Shiva's prayers to Lord Madhusudana or Lord Vishnu with a desire to see Lord's form as Mohini Murti. And we will see today how Lord Vishnu as Mohini Murti bewilders Lord Shiva. And then Lord Shiva's exalted consciousness after he was bewildered by the Mohini Murti. So let us resume from where we stopped yesterday. So let us briefly revisit what we discussed yesterday regarding Lord Shiva's position. So this represents a prisoner who has been convicted due to his wrong deeds, who is undergoing a period of imprisonment. So this prisoner can be compared to a conditioned soul like all of us who are actually struggling in this material world, who have come here because they have been rebellious of the Supreme Lord and who are influenced by the three modes of nature, and all of whose activities are carried under the influence of three modes of nature. Whereas Lord Shiva represents, Lord Shiva is like a very responsible government officer. He is not, although this officer, this police officer may be a part of the prison, just like the prisoner, but still there is a lot of difference between both of them. The police officer is a very, very respected person. The police officer is very obedient to the laws of the government, and the government has a lot of respect. And the government, how it deals with the police officer, it deals directly, but it does not deal directly with the criminals. So this is the position of Lord Shiva. So one should not mistake when we are going through this pastime. It will be very bewildering if we do not understand the position of Lord Shiva. That is why yesterday, almost the whole session, we actually discussed about the glories of Lord Shiva. Who Lord Shiva is, how glorious he is. So what are the points which we have seen yesterday? Although the prisoner and the police officer may be in the same jail, they cannot be considered as equals. Somebody who considers them to be equal is a foolish person. And the government deals with both of them differently. The government deals with the criminals in a particular way. It does not deal with the criminals directly. But with the police officer, the government deals directly. There may be a prisoner who is transferred from one place to another. And there may be a police officer also who is transferred from one place to another. But if the prisoner thinks that the police officer is transferred, the police officer being transferred is just like him. For example, he may be transferred because he must have done some nonsense in the jail also. So therefore, he is transferred to some other place for further rectification. But a police officer, the government may want his services elsewhere other than where he is present right now. So if the criminal thinks that the police officer is also transferred just like me because I have done something wrong, the jail authorities have transferred me. So therefore, even the police officer has done something wrong, therefore the jail of the government has transferred him. If a criminal thinks like that, it is utter foolishness. So therefore, if we think that Lord Shiva's bewildering is equivalent, or if you compare Lord Shiva's bewildering to our bewildering with the beauty of this material world, or our being bewildered by the temptations of this material world, then we are deeply mistaken. So this does not mean that the government or government's representative is partial. So what is the difference between a conditioned soul and liberated soul? Also we had seen yesterday. The conditioned soul is influenced by the three modes. Above the three modes is the Supreme Lord. So he is influenced by the three modes. Prakrite kriyamanani gunai karmani sarvashaha ahankara vimudhatma kartaham iti manyate. He is influenced by the three modes, and all the activities he carries on is actually under the influence of three modes. Here you see, two persons are quarreling, they are fighting, they are beating one another with sticks. But who is actually controlling them? It is not Lord's desire. They are being controlled by their own desires because they are being controlled by the three modes. They have a desire to enjoy separately from the Lord. Therefore, they are a part of this material world. So therefore, they are being influenced by the three modes as per their desires. But the pure devotees or the liberated souls like Lord Shiva, they are under the protection of the divine nature. They are under the personal protection of the Lord. Just like a responsible police officer, a very reputed police officer, a very trustworthy police officer is actually under the personal supervision, or he is under the personal government. So therefore, What is the difference? The difference is Mahatmanastu mam partha daivim prakriti mashrita bhajanti manaso jnatva bhutadim abhyayam. So the liberated souls, the pure devotees like Lord Shiva, they are under the personal protection of the divine nature. They are under the personal protection of the internal potency of the Lord. Although they may be a part of this material world, because it is a service entrusted by the Supreme Lord to Lord Shiva. That is why he is a part of this material world. Just like, a service which is entrusted to a responsible police officer. That is why he may be in the jail. But that does not mean that he is, equivalent to the criminal, or he is subjected to the rules, same as, same like that of a criminal. So therefore, Mahatmanastu mam partha daivim prakritim ashrita bhajanti ananya manasu gyatva bhutadim abhyayam. Why they are under the protection of the divine nature? Because bhajanti ananya manaso. They are always ananya, always without interruption. They are fixed in devotional service to the Supreme Lord. They are fixed in hearing about the Supreme Lord, chanting the holy names of the Supreme Lord, serving the Supreme Lord, serving the devotees of the Supreme Lord, serving the mission of the Supreme Lord. So therefore, they are under the personal protection of the Lord. So we have seen how Lord Vishnu was requested by Lord Shiva, and we have seen why actually Lord smiled with gravity when Lord Shiva requested Lord Vishnu to show the Mohini Avatara, show his Mohini form, which was actually captivating the entire world. Lord Shiva was thinking, even the best of the demigods could not get bewildered. Only the demons were bewildered. In the previous section where we have seen, only the demons were bewildered by the Mohini Murti, not the demigods. But so Lord Shiva was thinking, even the best of the demigods were not bewildered. What to speak of me? But what was Lord Vishnu thinking? Lord Vishnu was gravely thinking how to captivate Lord Shiva. So therefore, he was smiling with gravity. So therefore, the Supreme Lord says, when the demons took away the jug of nectar, I assumed the form of a beautiful woman to bewilder them directly by cheating them, and thus to act in the interest of the demigods. And now, let us continue from this verse. Tatteham darshayishyami didriksho surasattama kaminam bahumantavyam sankalpa prabhavodayam. So, Lord Vishnu says, O best of the demigods, O Lord Shiva, I shall now show you my form that is very much appreciated by those who are lusty. Since you want to see that form, I shall reveal it to you in your presence. So we have seen this also yesterday. The form of Mohini Murti was bewildering to the demons, but not the demigods. And who is actually bewildered by a woman's beauty? Only those who maintain a demoniac mentality. And who is not bewildered by a woman's beauty? Somebody who is advanced in Krishna consciousness, or even if one is in the mode of goodness, he is also not bewildered by a woman's beauty. Because he knows who is the supremely beautiful person. He knows that. Can all of you please ensure you are on mute? I think mistakenly, some of you have unmuted sometimes. Okay, so who is not bewildered by women's beauty? Only those persons who are advanced in Krishna consciousness, or those who are in the mode of goodness, they are not bewildered by a woman's beauty, because they know what is the source of the woman's beauty, and they know the person who is supremely beautiful. Yat yat vibhutimas sattvam Srimat Urjitameva va Tattat Evava Gacchantvam Mamadejomsha Sambhavam. Krishna says in Bhagavad Gita, O Arjuna, whatever you find very opulent or glittering in this material world, Yat yat vibhutimat sattvam Srimat Urjitameva va Tattat Evava Gacchantvam Mamadejomsha Sambhavam. It is possible only because of a fragment. It is nothing but a fragment of my opulence. Krishna says in 10th chapter of Bhagavad Gita. So, the persons who are advanced in Krishna consciousness, or even those who are in the mode of goodness, they are actually not bewildered by a woman's beauty. And Lord Shiva knew that he could not be agitated by any so-called beautiful woman. And Lord Vishnu also knew this. Lord Shiva thought the demigods are not agitated. What to speak of me, the best of the demigods? And Lord Vishnu also knew that Lord Shiva is not an ordinary person and he cannot be bewildered even by the most beautiful woman. But Lord Vishnu wanted to bewilder Lord Shiva. So this is a pastime between the Supreme Lord and the pure devotee of the Supreme Lord. So therefore, when we are hearing this pastime, we should never underestimate the position of Lord Shiva. Lord Shiva is the Supreme Vaishnava. He is a pure devotee. And the Lord is actually using Lord Shiva, Lord Vishnu, the Supreme Lord, is using Lord Shiva to teach something to all of us, to the whole world. Just like Lord Krishna used Arjuna. Lord Krishna used Arjuna to tell Bhagavad Gita. It is not that Arjuna became confused. Arjuna was put willfully into confusion by the will of the Supreme Lord. Similarly, Lord Shiva is bewildered here, not because he is influenced by the three modes of material nature. Lord Shiva is bewildered here by the will of the Supreme Lord. And when he is bewildered, he acts like a normal man. So this is the glory of Lord Shiva. Cupid himself, Kamadeva himself tried to invoke Lord Shiva's lusty desires. But Lord Shiva was never agitated. Can anybody withstand the arrows of the Cupid? Nobody. So therefore, Lord Vishnu had to think twice of what kind of beautiful form would bewilder even Lord Shiva. And therefore, he decided to impersonate a woman. Because Lord Shiva wanted to see Lord Vishnu's form as a woman. So Lord Vishnu told Lord Shiva in this way. He ensured Lord Shiva, the Acharyas, right? I will show you my form as a woman. But if you become agitated by lusty desires, do not blame me. That was the meaning of what he actually said. That is what the Acharyas comment. And we have the following things to understand here. The attractive features of a woman are appreciated by those who are affected by lusty desires. However, those who are above the lusty desires, those who are advanced in Krishna consciousness, or even if somebody is predominantly in the mode of goodness, it is very difficult to bewilder them. However, one may be on the platform of Krishna consciousness. He may be a very, very advanced devotee. What to speak of somebody who is in the mode of goodness? Somebody may even have transcended the mode of goodness by pure devotion. Mam chayo avyabhicharena bhakti yogena sevate sagunan samatityetan brahmabhoyaya kalpate. Krishna says in Bhagavad Gita 14th chapter. Somebody who has come to the platform of Krishna consciousness after transcending the mode of goodness also, it is very, very difficult to bewilder such a person. However, such a person can be bewildered by the will of the Supreme Lord. Even such a person can be bewildered by the will of the Supreme Lord. This is not to underestimate the glory of devotional service, or this is not to underestimate the person's advancement. This is only to show the Lord's supremacy. So here was a test of whether Lord Shiva would remain unagitated or whether he is going to become agitated. Let us see what happens next. Shri Sukha Uvacha iti bruvano bhagavan tatraivantara dhiyata sarvatascharayam chakshur bhava aste saho maya. So Shukadeva Goswami continued. After speaking in this way, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Vishnu, immediately disappeared and Lord Shiva remained there with Uma, looking for him all around with moving eyes. Tato dadarsho pavane varastriyam vichitra pushparuna pallavadrume vikridatim kandukalilayalasat dukula paryastanitam bamekhalam. So he says, Shukadeva Goswami says, thereafter, in a nice forest nearby, full of trees with reddish pink leaves and varieties of flowers, Lord Shiva saw a beautiful woman playing with a ball. Her hips were covered with a shining sari and ornamented with a belt. Now Lord Shiva gets the darshan of Lord's form as the Mohini Murti. He saw a beautiful woman playing with a ball. Avartanodvartanakam pitastana. Avartanodvartanakam pitastana. प्रकृष्टहारोरुबरे पदे पदे प्रज प्रभज्यमानामिव मध्यतश्चलात् पदप्रवालं नयतीं ततस्तथा. Because the ball was falling down and bouncing up, she played with it. Her breast trembled, and because of the weight of those breasts and her heavy flower garland, her waist appeared to be all but breaking at every step, as her two soft feet, which were reddish like coral, moved here and there. So the description of the form of the Lord as woman is here described here. दिक्षुभ्रमत्कन्दुकचापलैर्भृशं प्रोद्विग्नतारायतलोललोचनां स्वकर्णविभ्राजितकुण्डलोलसात् कपोलनीलालकमन्विताननाम्. So we should understand, actually this woman, this form of the woman is none other than the Supreme Lord. That is why it is being glorified like this in Srimad Bhagavatam. It is not a mundane woman. It is none other than the Supreme Lord. The woman's face was covered with broad, beautiful, restless eyes, which moved as the ball bounced here and there from her hand. The two brilliant earrings on her ears decorated her shining cheeks like bluish reflections, and the hair scattered on her face made her even more beautiful to see. So here we are not describing the beauty of a mundane woman. This is none other than Mohini Murti, the form of the Supreme Lord. That is why it is being discussed. So the Lord is the Lord is the most beautiful, right? Bhagavan means six opulences. What are those six opulences? He is the reservoir of all beauty. He is the reservoir of all knowledge. He is the reservoir of all strength. He is the reservoir of all renunciation. He is the reservoir of all two more things. So one of the opulence of the Supreme Lord is the reservoir of all beauty. So this is none other than the form of the Supreme Lord only. Slataddukulam kabarim cha vichyutam. Slataddukulam kabarim cha vichyutam. Sannahyatim vamakarena valguna. Vinignatim anyakarena kandukam. Vimohayantim jagadatma mayaya. As she played with the ball, the sari covering her body became loose and her hair scattered. She tried to bind her hair with her beautiful left hand, and at the same time, she played the ball by striking it with her right hand. This was so attractive that the Supreme Lord, by his internal potency, in this way captivated everyone. So we should remember, we are not describing the beauty of a mundane woman here. This woman is none other than the Supreme Lord himself. So what happened to Lord Shiva on seeing the beautiful woman? So the Supreme Lord's external potency or Maya is extremely strong and everyone is captivated by her activities. But Lord Shiva was not to be captivated by external potency. Lord Shiva is not a person to be influenced by the three modes of material nature like a conditioned soul. For example, a very responsible IPS officer, the government may deal with him in some way. They may want him to get transferred from one place to another place. But he is actually not under the influence of the rules and regulations of the prisoner. Similarly, Lord Shiva was not to be captivated by external potency, or he was not to be influenced by the three modes of material nature, that is the Sattva Guna, Rajo Guna, or the Tamo Guna. It was the personal will of the Lord, and he was reciprocating as per the desire of Lord Shiva. However, Lord Vishnu wanted to captivate the Lord. Lord Vishnu wanted to captivate Lord Shiva. So therefore, he captivated Shiva by manifesting his internal potency as Mohini Murti. So whatever is happening to Lord Shiva on seeing the beautiful woman is actually the will of the Supreme Lord as per the desire of Lord Shiva. And Lord Shiva personally wanted to see that form. Therefore, with a desire to captivate Lord Shiva, Lord Vishnu exhibited his internal potency. So it is like an IPS officer or a very responsible government official who is actually put into a certain position by the will of the government. So Lord Vishnu can captivate anyone. This is the glory of Lord Vishnu. This establishes the glory of Lord Vishnu. This does not degrade Lord Shiva. This pastime does not degrade him, but it establishes the glory of Lord Vishnu. And when Lord Vishnu wants to teach the world, see, Bhagavad Gita is spoken to Arjuna because Arjuna is confused. So Lord Krishna personally put Arjuna into that confusion so that he can speak Bhagavad Gita to the whole world. So therefore, Lord Vishnu personally puts Lord Shiva into this position because through Lord Shiva, he can teach the entire world what it is to be attracted by a beautiful woman. Tam vikshya deva iti kanduka leelayeshad vridas putasmita vishrishtrita kataksha musta vridas putasmita vishrishta kataksha musta Stri prekshana pratima samikshana viha vihvalatma natmanam antika umam swaganam chaveda tam vikshya deva iti kanduka leelayeshat vridas putasmita prishishta katakshamasta Stri prekshana pratisa vikshana vihvalatma nat Manamantika umam swaganamscha veda. Now what happened? When Lord Shiva observed the beautiful woman playing the ball, she sometimes glanced at him and slightly smiled in bashfulness. Lord is behaving like an expert woman. He is an expert actually. Everybody is Prakriti. Everybody is woman only in front of the Lord. Actually, he is the Supreme Purusha. Adyam Purana Purusham Navayauvanamcha. Vedescha Durlabha Matna Bhakto. So therefore, Lord Shiva is actually observing the beautiful woman playing the ball. Sometimes she is glancing at him and slightly smiling in bashfulness. Lord is an expert. And as he looked at the beautiful woman and as she watched him, he forgot both himself and Uma, his most beautiful wife, as well as his associates were standing nearby. So captivating was this woman. So captivating was Mohini Murti, because she's none other than the Supreme Lord. She was so captivating as a woman, and you see how she was actually looking at Lord Shiva and how Lord Shiva was looking at her. And when he was looking at her like that, he completely forgot whoever is actually present. Even his wife also he forgot. So that is what is said here. The material bondage of this world is that. What is the material bondage of this world? A beautiful woman can captivate a handsome man, and a handsome man can captivate a beautiful woman. This is the beginning of material bondage in this world. So therefore, what happens when the beautiful woman sees a handsome man and a handsome man sees a beautiful woman? The influence of Cupid is there, the Kamadeva. So therefore, what happens as both the parties move their eyebrows and glance at one another, their lusty desires increase more and more. And then reciprocations of such lusty desire took place between Lord Shiva and the beautiful woman. Who was this woman? Not any material woman. It was the Supreme Lord himself. Even though Uma and Lord Shiva's associates were also by Lord Shiva's side, Lord Shiva forgot everything. So therefore, this is the basis of bondage in this material world. What is the basis of bondage? Pumsa striyamai tunibhavametam. Pumsa means man. Striya means woman. Maithuni, the sexual relationship between a man and a woman. The sexual attraction between man and a woman is actually the cause of material bondage in this world. And because of this attraction between a man and woman, what happens? Tayor mito hridaya granthi mahu. What happens is hridaya granthi happens. Hridaya granthi means what? The knot of attachment is there in the heart. Because of this material bondage, because of this attraction between a male and a female, what happens is there is a knot tied in the heart. Hridaya granthi. And because of that knot, what happens is so many misconceptions come. We forget, already we have forgotten our material, we have forgotten our position as an eternal servant of the Lord. That is why we are in this material world. And when we are in this material world, when we are implicated by the three modes, then the first thing which happens is one becomes attracted to the opposite sex. And then what happens? A knot is tied in the heart. And what happens subsequently? Ato graha kshetra sutapta vitte. Once that knot is there, what happens? You need a graha. You need a house. Kshetra, you need a place. You need sutta, apta, vitta. You need sutta. Sutta means what? Son. Apta, relatives. Vitta, you need money. When you have all these things, you need money. If you don't have money, nobody will even care for you. So first, the basis is the attraction between male and female. And then why it is written here, we see how Lord Shiva got captivated. And this is the situation with the people in material world. However, Lord Shiva was put into it willfully by the desire of the Supreme Lord. But what about others in this material world? The main reason why this material existence is, why this material world is running on is because of the attraction between male and female. And because of that attraction, the knot is tied in the heart. Tayo mito hridaya granthi maho. Hridaya granthi. Ato graha kshetra sutapta vitter. Janasya mohoyam aham mameti. And because of this, one increasingly gets the conception of I and mine. This is mine. This is yours. This is my son, my wealth, my wife, my children. Aham ameti. And then one has to go on acting as per one's misidentification with one's body. And then what happens? One is perpetuated again and again in the cycle of birth and death. Punarapi jananam, punarapi maranam, punarapi janani jatare shayanam. Iha samsare bahudukkare kripaya pare pahi murari. So how to come out of this jananam and maranam? Kripaya pare pahi murari. When you have the mercy of the Supreme Lord, you can come out of this jananam and maranam. Then how to have the mercy of the Supreme Lord? One can have the mercy of the Supreme Lord by taking to the process of devotional service, beginning with Shravanam and Kirtanam. What happens when one takes to Shravanam and Kirtanam? Shinvatam swakatha Krishna, Punya Shravana Kirtana, Hridayantasyo Hyabadrani, Vidunoti Suhritsatam. All the Abhadra which is present in the Hridaya, Hridayantasyo Hyabadrani, Vidunoti Suhritsatam, Nashtaprayeshu Abhadreshu, Nityam Bhagavata Sevaya, Bhagavati Uttama Shloke, Bhaktir Bhavati Nishtiki. Then Tada Rajastamo Bhava, Kamalobhadayasche, Chetayate Ranavritam, Stitam Satve Prasidati. And then Evam Prasanna Manaso, Bhagavat Bhakti Yogata, Bhagavat Tattva Vijnanam, Mukta Sangha Pajayate, Vidyate Hridaya Granthis. That Hridaya Granthi which is there, Vidyate Hridaya Granthis, Chidyante Sarva Samshaya. What happens is, when you take to the process of Shravanam and Kirtanam, it is described beautifully in the first canto of Srimad Bhagavatam. Sutta Goswami speaks to the sages of Naimisharanya. When you take to the process of Shravanam and Kirtanam, Vidyate Hridaya Granthi, this knot which has come because of the attraction between male and female, Hridaya Granthi, which is leading to the bodily conception of life, what happens is that Granthi is pierced. When there is a knot, tied, what do? You take a needle and you try to pierce the knot so that it will be free. So Shravanam and Kirtanam leads to that. Vidyate Hridaya Granthi, Chidyante Sarva Samshaya. All the doubts are vanished. So therefore, the attraction between male and female is the basic principle of this material existence. And on basis of this misconception, which ties together the hearts of male and female, one becomes attracted to his body, home, property, children, relatives, and wealth. Graha, Kshetra, Sutta, Apta, Vitta. And in this way, one increases life's illusions and he thinks in terms of I and mine. So what is the solution to this? This Hridaya Granthi, or this bondage, or this knot which is tied. How it can be removed? Only by Shravanam and Kirtanam. So what happens is, when a man and woman exchange feelings of lust, as we have seen in this example, how she is looking at Lord Shiva and how Lord Shiva is looking at her. When a man and woman exchange feelings of lust, both of them are victimized. And then they are bound to this material world in so many ways. Tasya karagrats satukanduko yada gato viduram tamanu vrajat striya Vasasasutram lagumaruto harat bhavasya devasya kilanupashyata. So when the ball leaped from her hand and fell at a distance, the woman began to follow it. But as Lord Shiva observed these activities, a breeze suddenly blew away the fine dress and belt that covered the woman. So this made Lord Shiva even more agitated. Evam tan ruchirapangi darshaniyam manoramam drishtva tasyam manaschakre vitajjantyam bhavakhila. So the Lord Shiva saw the woman, every part of whose body was beautifully formed, and the beautiful woman also looked at him. Therefore, thinking that she was attracted to him, Lord Shiva became very much attracted to her. Every part of the body was beautifully formed, because this woman is none other than the Supreme Personality of Godhead. And the woman is also looking at him very bashfully and shyfully. So Lord Shiva is thinking that even this woman is actually attracted to me. So therefore, he became much more attracted to her. Taya paharta vijnanas tatkrita smara vihmala bhavanya api pashyantya gatahris tatpadam yayo. Lord Shiva, his good sense taken away by the woman because of lusty desires to enjoy with her, became so mad for her that even in the presence of Bhavani, he did not hesitate to approach her. His beautiful wife is standing, but he's completely bewildered. He's completely absorbed in looking at this woman, and he's even more and more attracted to this woman, and he wanted to enjoy this woman. Satam ayantam alokya vivastra vredita brisam niliyamana vriksheshu hasanti nanvatishtata. The beautiful woman was already naked, and when she saw Lord Shiva coming towards her, she became extremely bashful. Thus she kept smiling, but she hid herself among the trees and did not stand in one place. So this woman is also attracting Lord Shiva, and Lord Shiva is more and more attracted by this woman. Tam anvagachat bhagavan bhava pramositendriya kamasya cha vasamnita karenum iva yutapa. His senses being agitated, Lord Shiva, victimized by lusty desires, began to follow her, just as a lusty elephant follows the she-elephant. So the description is given here. How he became overcome by lusty desires. Just as a lusty elephant follows a she-elephant. That way, Lord Shiva actually began to go behind this woman. Sonu vrajyati vegena grihitva nichatim striyam keshabanda upaniya bahobhyam parisasvaje. After following her with great speed, Lord Shiva caught her by the braid of her hair and dragged her near him. Although she was unwilling, he embraced her with his arms. So this is how Lord Shiva is actually going behind this woman. Sopaguda bhagavata karina karini yatha itastata prasarpanti viprakirna shiroruha. Being embraced by Lord Shiva like a female elephant embraced by a male, the woman whose hair was scattered swirled like a snake. O king, this woman who had large, high hips was a woman of Yogamaya, presented with the Supreme Personality of Godhead. She released herself somehow or the other from the fond embrace of Lord Shiva's arms and ran away. See, when we are discussing these things, two things we should remember. Lord Shiva is not a conditioned soul. All this is happening by the will of the Supreme Lord. He is not influenced by a beautiful woman like we are influenced. When we are influenced by a beautiful woman, we are under the modes of nature. But Lord Shiva being influenced by this woman is because the Lord purposely put Lord Shiva into such bewilderment. And who is this woman? This is not any mundane woman. This is the Supreme Lord himself. So we should be very careful when we are studying this subject matter, because we are actually studying the pastime between the Supreme Lord and the pure devotee of the Supreme Lord. So time and again we should remind ourselves about this. Atmanam mochayitvanga surarshavabujantarat pradrivatsa pratushrone maya deva vinirmita. Being embraced by Lord Shiva like a female elephant, embraced by a male. The woman whose hair was scattered, swirled like a snake. Okay, I think this is the same translation here. Tasyasau padavim rudro Vishnor adbhuta karmana pratyapadyata kamena vairineva vinirjita. So here, as if harassed by an enemy of lusty desires, Lord Shiva followed the path of Lord Vishnu, who acts very wonderfully. Tasyasau padavim rudro. As if harassed by an enemy in the form of lusty desires. Vishnor adbhuta karmanaha. Lord is acting very, very wonderfully here. He's acting like a woman. He's acting like a woman. Exactly. When Lord acts like a woman, he acts to the best. So this woman is not an ordinary woman. And Lord Shiva is not an ordinary personality. In fact, the woman is bewildering Lord Shiva because she is the Supreme Lord only. Lord Shiva is not to be bewildered by any woman of this material world or this material creation or by any other thing. If at all somebody can bewilder Lord Shiva, it is only the Supreme Lord by his will. So this woman is none other than the Supreme Lord, and he is being bewildered because the Lord willed it. And as if harassed by an enemy in the form of lusty desires, Lord Shiva followed the path of Lord Vishnu, who acts very wonderfully and who has taken the form of Mohini Murti. So we should understand the Lord's potency. Lord Shiva was being harassed by Lord Vishnu's internal potency. It is like a responsible government officer being transferred personally by the Home Minister. Due to some reason. If he is transferred, there must be some reason. Probably his service is required somewhere else. It is not like one criminal is put from one cell into another cell or transferred from one section of the jail to another section of jail because of his misconduct. When a responsible police officer is put in certain position, it is not because of his wrong activities. It is because the government wants to use the police officer's services elsewhere. This is the dealing between the police officer and the Home Minister. Just like that. This is the dealing between the Supreme Lord and the pure devotee of the Supreme Lord. So Shiva was not influenced like how we are influenced by a beautiful woman. Shiva was influenced by Lord Vishnu's internal potency. He is a Mahatma. Mahatmanastu mam partha Daivim Prakriti Mashrita Bhajantyananya Manaso. He is under the influence of the Daivi Prakriti, not under the influence of Maya. So otherwise Lord Shiva cannot be victimized by Maya. So Lord Vishnu can perform many very activities through his various potencies. Parashya Shaktir Vivideva Shruyate Swabhaviki Jnana Balakriyacha. By his potencies, Lord can perform so many wonderful activities. One such activity is bewildering Lord Shiva. Otherwise, Lord Shiva cannot be bewildered. Only the Supreme Lord can bewilder him. Nobody else can bewilder him. Only the Home Minister can transfer a very responsible police officer. Nobody else can transfer. Similarly, only Lord Vishnu can actually bewilder Lord Shiva. Nobody else can bewilder. So, Lord is acting very, very efficiently. Just see how Lord is acting as a woman. How expertly, the best, the best display of a womanly nature here. To do anything expertly, he doesn't even need to contemplate. Tasyanudhavato retas chaskadhamo garetasa dushmino yuta pashyeva vasitam anudhavata. So just like a maddened bull elephant follow the female elephant who is able to conceive pregnancy, Lord Shiva followed the beautiful woman and discharged semen, even though his discharge of semen never goes in vain. So finally, Lord Shiva is attracted so much, he is so much bewildered and he is so much influenced by lusty desire by this woman that he discharged semen. Yatra yatra patanmahyam retastasya mahatmanaha tani rupyasya hemnascha kshetranya sanmahipate. So, wherever on the surface of globe fell the semen of the great personality of Lord Shiva, mines of gold and silver later appeared. So Lord Shiva's semen, the discharge of his semen never goes in vain. It is not like the semen of any other conditioned living being. The discharge of Lord Shiva's semen actually transformed into gold mines and silver. So all the gold mines and silver on the surface of this globe are actually a manifestation of the transformation of semen of Lord Shiva. So therefore, those who seek gold and silver can worship Shiva for material opulences. That is why who want wealth, particularly who want to amass gold and silver, they worship Lord Shiva. Lord Shiva is worshipped for this. And Lord Shiva actually lives under a bael tree and he does not even construct a house. But although he is apparently poverty-stricken, he is an exalted devotee. He doesn't need that gold and silver. His devotees are sometimes very, very opulently endowed because the gold and silver are nothing but manifestations of his semen. Sarit sahasru shaileshu vaneshu pavaneshu cha yatra kvachasan rishayas tatra sannihito hara. Following Mohini, Lord Shiva went everywhere, near the shores of the rivers, lakes, near the mountains, near the forests, near the gardens, and wherever there lived great sages. This is a very important point to note. He even went wherever there are great sages. And great sages also saw him following. So what we should understand is that Mohini Murti dragged Lord Shiva to so many places, particularly to the place where there are great sages. Because Lord, as Mohini Murti, wanted to instruct those sages that their Lord Shiva has become mad for a beautiful woman. That is why particularly Mohini Murti dragged Lord Shiva to so many places, especially to where great sages were present, so that the great sages can understand that their worshipable Lord Shiva has become mad for this beautiful woman. So therefore, it is actually a lesson not for Lord Shiva. Lord Vishnu, through the form of Mohini Murti, is actually teaching the sages. He is teaching the sages that all of you should be extremely cautious because even your Lord has become mad for a beautiful woman. So therefore, what to speak of you? One should remain extremely cautious about beautiful women. So although they were all great sages and saintly persons, they were on a very high platform of devotional service. They should not think themselves free. That is a lesson for all of us. It is not a lesson for Shiva. Through Shiva, Lord is teaching all of us that we should be extremely cautious about beautiful women. We should be extremely cautious about women. No one should think himself above the three modes. You may be a very great devotee, you may be anything, but one should be very, very careful in presence of the opposite sex. It is said to be the principle of fire and butter. Fire is very good and frozen butter is also very good, right? But what happens when the frozen butter or when the butter is brought to the fire and when they are brought together, the butter melts and the fire also, becomes very intense. The fire is very aggravated by the presence of molten butter. So therefore, the fire and butter should always be kept separately. When should they be brought together, fire and butter? They should be brought together only when a yajna is performed, right? Only when a sacrifice is performed, the butter and fire are brought and the butter is put in the fire. So therefore, only when a woman and man are to be married, they should be brought together. That means other than one's wife, one has to be careful with every other woman. There is no discount to this. That is the lesson which Lord is teaching us through this pastime. One should be very, very careful when dealing with the opposite sex. Extremely careful. There is no discount for this. One should be very, 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 very careful. Because one will be bewildered and one will actually enter into a sinful life if one does not follow the etiquette properly. So therefore, one should never think just because I am chanting Hare Krishna, I am performing so many services, one should not think that I am above attraction for women, because that attraction is the very, very high attraction. So it is said in Srimad Bhagavatam, Matra Swasra Duhitra Va naivivikchatano bhavet, naiviviktasano bhavet, balavan indriya gramo vidvamsham apikarshati. So what is said here? One should not stay in a solitary place with a woman, even if that woman is his mother, his sister, or his daughter. This is the standard which Srimad Bhagavatam actually advocates. This is the standard which Srimad Bhagavatam recommends. One should not stay in a solitary place with a woman, even if that woman is his mother, even if that woman is his sister, even if that woman is his daughter. One can remain in a solitary place only with one's wife, with no other woman. For why? The senses are so uncontrollably powerful. Balavan indriya gramo. Vidvamsham apikarshati. The senses are so uncontrollably powerful that in the presence of a woman, one may become agitated, even if he is very learned and advanced, like what is happening to Lord Shiva. At least externally, it appears that, Shiva is completely bewildered. Yes, to see Shiva is completely bewildered by the beautiful woman, although he is very learned and advanced and a great devotee of the Supreme Lord. We know the internal reason, but when the sages are seeing, it is a lesson for the sages to be extremely cautious. It is not to degrade Lord Shiva. It is to teach through Lord Shiva for everyone how careful one must be with the opposite sex. Okay, so tomorrow, let us, I think we have taken a lot of time now, 6:40 actually. And we will see Lord Shiva's exalted consciousness after he comes back to consciousness. If there are any questions, we can take.
Prabhuji, this gold mines were, I think, already there, I think. No? Only what Shiva was saying, but before also gold was there, I think.
We have to verify that actually. Yeah, gold will be there.
Hare Krishna,
Should have been there. Yes, Prabhu. Yeah, please go on.
All are bewildered by the women, even though they are advanced and learned, right? Even though they're doing chanting, everything. How to control that? Even though chanting is not helping them, then how to control?
I didn't get you.
See, if the person is advanced or learned, he's bewildered by the woman, right?
Yes.
Even though he's doing chanting, even though he's doing some devotional service, even though he's doing some saintly activities.
Yes.
Then what is the means to control it? In what way to control?
Very
is
good
it only
question.
the mind control? How to get that mind control?
Very good question. Very good question, Prabhu. Yeah. So Prabhu's question is that despite one being advanced and learned, one still may be subjected to attraction by a woman and one may fall down. So how to actually control, even if devotional service is not helping one to control? So the answer for this is two things. One is one must continue one's devotional service. Okay. Why this attraction is there? Because we are not completely situated in pure devotional service. That is why this attraction is there. We are all practicing devotees. It is not that we have become completely pure. For example, there is a fan. The fan has been moving very fast. So when the fan is put off, it will take some time for the fan to stop, right? Similarly, it may take, so we don't know when we will be able to achieve the highest platform of devotional service. So one thing what we have to do is we have to stick to the process. First thing. Okay, we have to stick to the process of devotional service. Second thing is one must very carefully observe this etiquette. This is very important what we can do in this material world. Etiquette means varnashrama. One has to follow this etiquette. One has to be very, very careful in following this etiquette. One has to wholeheartedly follow the etiquette. Then one cannot be victimized by these lusty desires. For example, if you have, it is mentioned here, what is the standard one should follow while actually dealing with women. Even if that woman is your mother, even if that woman is your daughter, even if that woman is your sister, you should deal with her very carefully. You cannot deal with her as you like, because ultimately she is a woman. Okay, this is not what I am saying. This is what Srimad Bhagavatam is saying. The highest Purana is giving the standard. This is from Srimad Bhagavatam 9th canto. One should be very, very careful when dealing with a woman. We should follow this etiquette. if you follow, generally what happens is one does not follow the etiquette. Because see, already one is a conditioned soul. When we have taken to devotional service, it is not that we are liberated souls, right? So already we are conditioned, and somehow we have taken to this process of devotional service. We are like, diseased patients being treated in a hospital. Sir, you're a doctor, right?
Correct.
A diseased patient being treated in a hospital, he may be responding to the treatment and slowly recovering, but it does not mean that he has fully recovered, right?
Correct.
Similarly, as long as we are not on the highest platform of devotional service, there is no doubt that none of us are on that platform. As long as we are not in the highest platform of devotional service, it is better not to deal. So see. No, even if you are on the highest platform of eternal devotional service, you may be very advanced, still this etiquette has to be followed. So one thing is, we are all being treated in this hospital. This Krishna consciousness movement or ISKCON is like a hospital, and we are all patients in that. So we are all undergoing treatment. We all know how many weaknesses we have. Can we all completely tell that I don't have this attraction at all? We may be young or we may be old. Any point of time, we will have this attraction. Yes, we will have. But how to control it? In one day, you cannot achieve the control. In one day, you will not get, achieve perfection. And we should not aim also. See, perfection will come automatically. But what you can do is you have to follow the etiquette. Generally, what happens, we are in the process of being treated, and slowly, we are, one by step by step, we are advancing. But it is not that we have completely lost taste for attraction for opposite sex. We still have a taste for sex life. So we should be honest. And secondly, we should stick to the process. And thirdly, very important thing, we have to follow etiquette. Generally, what happens when we don't follow etiquette, slowly our previous vasanas, our previous conditionings resurface to the top. If we do not deal with women properly, all our previous vasanas, all our previous conditionings, they resurface to the top. One should not speak privately to women. No private talk at all. So all these things have to be followed. If you want to speak to a woman, you should do it either in presence of your wife or in presence of that woman's husband. You should not talk solitary place to a woman at all. So these things are etiquettes which have to be followed. If you follow this etiquette and if you are very honest and sincerely practicing devotional service, then Krishna will protect you. But the most important thing here is the etiquette. The etiquette is very, very important. This is also called as sadachar.
Okay,
etiquette is called sadachar.
That's what we have to take the use of the mind and the conscious and be conscious about it always.
We should never trust our mind. This is another important thing.
No, we should be conscious. I mean to say, we should be always conscious.
Yes.
This is the thing.
You should be very cautious.
Hammer your head 24 hours. Then only it is possible.
Yes. Krishna says in Bhagavad Gita, Yatato hyapi kaunteya purushasya vipaschita indriyani paramdhini haranti prasavan manaha. Even a great person can be bewildered. So therefore, one has to be very watchful of the mind.
Correct. Thank you, Prabhu.
Hare Krishna. Any other question? All right. Thank you for your participation. Grantaraj Srimad Bhagavatam ki Jai. Srila Prabhupada ki Jai.